Good morning, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on the video today. You would not think it is autumn, would you, today? So for today's video we're heading into the woods. I've managed to pack up my Anevay Horizon stove into my bag here. We're going to head down into the woods. We're going to have a look at a recipe on another one pot meal. This time we're going to be looking at Bunny Chow. So here we are, we're out in the woods today, going to do a meal out on the Anevay Horizon stove. I've done a review on the Horizon stove a couple of weeks ago. I'll stick a link to that review down in the description. There'll be one in the end screen as well. So one thing I did mention in the review was how cumbersome the Horizon stove is to carry with you. You can buy a carry bag for it, but obviously this was just sent to me just as the stove itself. But what I've managed to do is it does fit quite nicely in this LK35. So this is a army surplus. This is a Swedish Army LK35, and it does, like I say, it does fit really nicely inside of there. And I've got basically everything I need for a day's cookout in the woods today. So so we're going to do Bunny Chow today. So Bunny Chow. There's no bunnies in it at all. It's not rabbit at all. It's made from lamb or mutton. The true recipe is mutton, but I've got some lamb today. So this curry basically originates from Durban in South Africa. It comes from the migrant workers that came over from India to work on the mines. And the curry is actually served in a loaf of bread, because it was literally done so they could just scoop curry into the government loaf, as it was called. And then just take that away and eat it as it is. But it's a simple one-pot recipe which suits the Horizon stove down to the ground. So without further ado, we'll open up the bag, we'll get everything out of the bag. I need to go collect some firewood, and we'll have a look at the ingredients. So this recipe for Bunny Chow, I've basically made this a bit quicker really, just to make it of ease of filming it and doing it out in the woods here. I'll put the full recipe in the description below so you can take a look at that if need be. So main ingredients that we've got and what you're going to need to do this. So you're going to need a pot. I'm just using the deep frying pan that I always use when I'm out and about. I've got here about a handful of lamb. I've got some spice mix that I've made up here. So this is basically a tablespoon of cumin, a tablespoon of fennel, half a tablespoon of ginger, a tablespoon of coriander, tablespoon of chili powder, and a tablespoon of turmeric as well. So we're going to use this mix when we're frying up the meat, and also add it into the stock later on as well. Got a couple of cloves of garlic that we're going to use as well. I've got a nice big fat tomato, one onion, and then one potato. I've got 500 ml of chicken stock inside of there, and just need a little bit of oil just for frying at the beginning. And then of course you're going to need a split tin loaf to serve it all up in. Don't even think about it. And you're not having my sticks neither. We have that one. Right then, so let's have a look at getting this recipe prepped. I've just got that firing up there. I need that to just drop down with the heat there, so I just want some embers inside of that. So I'm just going to let that burn off while I get everything prepped. The first thing that we want to do is get our onion chopped up. Alright, we'll get the onions in. Right, so that's the onions on the go. It's on a nice heat now, that is. That's just perfect, that is. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw in the lamb, and we're going to get some of that spices in and get some of that garlic in as well. So in goes the lamb. In goes that spice mix that we mentioned earlier on. Quite a bit of that. And yeah, just the next bit, well, I've just got some garlic just to chop up and shove in there, and then it's tomato and some of the chicken stock. Alright, so in goes the garlic. Right, we're just going to brown that lamb off a little bit, and then we've got the tomato and the stock to go into that, and then it's literally just simmer it right down till it comes into a nice sauce. So I'm just going to stick in some stock. Alright, now's the time for some more garam masala to go in. Put a bit more stock into there. We'll just check. Oh no, we're doing fuel. A couple more bits. Right, we're going to get the tomato and the potato in now. So like I say, it's a really basic curry that's going in here. I've got most of the ingredients in now. I've just got to chop up a potato and stick a potato in, and then it's just a case of just letting that simmer until the potato's cooked. So now it's just a case of just letting the potatoes cook down as well. I've got a little bit of stock left over in my bottle here in case that gets too dry there. So that's one thing just to remember with this, just keep a little bit of fluid, whether it's water, whether it's stock, just in case this just gets a little bit too dry. Is that nice, Marley? You're such a grot bag, aren't you? You're rolling in fox crap and now you're eating a piece of bone that you found on the floor. Nice, a jawbone of a deer by the looks of it. Right then, so we're pretty much there. Let's get the bowl ready. Alright, so what I've got here is just a small tin loaf. What this is normally served up in South Africa is what they call a government loaf, which is a little bit more square and a bit more solid, but this will work just as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the loaf just about here, and then we're just basically going to hollow it out. I've got my standard Bacco Laplander bread knife with me, so I'm just going to cut this. Come out the way, please, dog. And then what we're going to do is just with another knife is just hollow out the middle, and then you're just taking out that bread from the middle, and keep hold of that because you're going to want that. I'll just rest that there. So once the bread's hollowed out, all you're going to do is just get your curry into your bread. Obviously it's a lot easier with a ladle. And it should be a little bit more liquid in this. There we go. And then your piece of bread that you've cut out is just served on the top like so. Right, so there we go, bunny chow. So it literally is just eaten out of the loaf. Oh, you're my friend now, are you? Just break the pieces of bread off, just using your fingers to pull the meat and everything out. That's really good. Right, so there we go. Really simple recipe. I'll put the whole ingredients and the method on the description below there. Bunny chow is a perfect one-pot meal for using something like the Anevay Horizon stove here. So that's us done really for the day. So I'm literally just going to wait for this to cool down and make sure that all of the embers are out and pack up, and we're going to head back home. Just on another note, guys, last week we participated in a 24-mile hike to raise money for the East Anglian Air Ambulance. We're trying to raise another £1 million for the Air Ambulance so that they can fly 24/7. So last Sunday we were out, we walked 24 miles along the North Norfolk coast. Together, me and my team, we raised £650. There's a link in the description below towards our Just Giving page. Please, if you can spare anything, please donate to a fantastic cause there. Thank you for watching this week's video. So that's a very simple one-pot recipe using the Anevay Horizon stove. So that was bunny chow, which is a South African curry. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button just there, and don't forget to hit the bell notification to get notified when the next video comes out. And as always, there's a couple of videos just here, just for you to take a look at, and we'll see you out on the next one.